Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. In today's episode, we are checking out the new freeware microjet, the Beast Horus. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Alright guys, so as I said, the Beast Horse is what we're going to be taking a look at. This is again a freeware microjet that has been brought to Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a couple little quirks that I want to be aware of right out of the gate, guys. And that is, first off, the engine start switch is not actually implemented yet, so you must use Control E at some point to shut or to start the aircraft. Shut off is unfortunately not possible. They have a pretty good YouTube video here that you guys can watch to get it started, but we're going to be walking through all the same steps here today. And then a couple other things you guys can sort of pay attention to here to check out the versions of the aircraft. But let's go ahead and see what flying this little birdie is all about, because that's the important part, right? So first off, the textures obviously look absolutely fantastic. It looks like a fun little aircraft. Definitely looks like something out of a James Bond movie, which is what's referenced in the description on the website. So let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. Let me reset my camera here and set the keyboard out of my way. We will not be needing it for a minute. And let's start taking a peek around. So first off, it's a little hard for me to see it. I wish there was a way to remove the flight stick here. But just behind the flight stick here, let's pull there. There's your battery. And then we have the pitot heat right underneath it. So let's see here. There's battery. Oh, it's not letting me. Come on. Get over here, you butthead. All right. Flip that battery on. There we go. Get that stick out of the way here. Avionics switch on. We're going to come up top here. We're going to turn our nav lights on. We're going to turn the taxi light on. I'm going to turn the light mode down to low. Oh, maybe not. And the wigwags. All right, and you can simulate the start switch, but again, this is the part that isn't actually implemented yet. So what we're going to do is reach back down to our keyboard here and do a Control E for an auto start. Might as well set the barometric pressure while we're down there. Make that easy. Flaps, you have up, approach, and landing. The aircraft is capable of doing very, very short takeoffs as well as very short landings. For most situations, though, you will not need any kind of flaps for takeoff. Rotation is right around 60 knots, so pretty simple. Does have speed brakes as well, so we'll be checking some of that behavior out. Smoke effect, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't look like it's actually implemented yet. I could not make it work earlier, but we're going to go ahead and see what it's about. Let those engines continue to wind up. All right, looks like we're good to go there. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that parking brake out. Just throw it away. Adding some power for taxi. Pitot heat can remain on during the whole flight. It's got a regulated pitot. And it looks like based on winds, we're going to be taking off from runway 29 right today. And unfortunately, that is at the far other end of the darn runway. Taxi speed is extremely fast. You really got to watch that engine RPM. And nose wheel control is also extremely responsive. So make sure you really watch those movements on the rudder pedals or it will take you. This thing is a screamer. Oh, missed it. I tried. Okay, well, this is a ridiculously long taxi, so I'm going to catch you guys when we get to the other end of that. All right, we are approaching our runway 29 right today. landing lights on, turning our strobe lights on, completely coming off the taxi line. One of the things that I can say right away to the developer is I hope that they reduce the rudder input a little bit, or the nose wheel steering input. It's a little too intense. You'll definitely want to set some sort of curves for this thing, otherwise it's going to drive you crazy, I think. We'll see. I did an air start with it earlier, just sort of testing basic functionality. Like I said, I couldn't get the smoke to work, but this is my first time attempting a takeoff in it, so we're going to see what that's about. Alright, releasing the brakes. Max power. Airspeed alive. 60 knots, gently rotating. Positive climb, gear coming up. Pulling power back to about 90% here. Best climb is said to be about 120 knots for this particular aircraft. Definitely gets up and gets rolling. And let's set power levers back to optimum here. And just sort of get familiar. That was a pretty smooth takeoff. I will warn you, you want to be very gentle on the controls. She does not require very much input at all to get moving around. Now let's go ahead and mess around with some of the response of the controls. Nothing too crazy. There's a maximum turn. Definitely an aircraft I feel like you could have some fun with. Very, very gentle on the controls. It just doesn't require anything. I don't like the shaky shake that it's got going on. I'm not sure what that's about. Definitely interesting to fly. So it's a very quirky aircraft, like I said. Definitely wants to bounce around quite a bit. Let's see if we can push it and see what happens. But this weird shaking effect. You know what? The other thing I want to try? I want to try something else. Let's try something. Let's change our weather set. Clear skies. Alright, so I think that's what it is. I think it's the wind. So it doesn't like wind at all. We're going to push it. This is the first time I've actually seen it go away. I hadn't thought about taking it off of live weather. And that smoothed the aircraft out completely. Oh, spoke too soon. Well, I'm also overspeeding it. Let me pull that power back. That made a huge difference in the ability to control the aircraft. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Let's take it down low. Let's see what kind of fun we can have here. Oof. Okay, that was cool. Oh yeah, she's a screamer. All right, so use a weather preset of clear skies, and it flies beautifully. Tons of fun, very responsive. That weird wiggy waggy thing that it had going on went away, which is nice. And now it's a lot easier to grab. Yeah. So it doesn't like live weather. Well, be more specific, I don't think it likes wind. And I need to do one more thing here while I'm thinking about it. I just happened to notice my stuttering came back, and I forgot to run my little utility here. All right, let's push it. We'll go ahead and try the smoke again. Oh, why'd you put the nose back down like that, bud? I don't see any smoke, so I don't know if it has to be held down or what. But even if it does, I need to know what buttons to set for it, because I cannot get the smoke to work. Like, nothing I do seems to make it work at all. It's probably a really bad angle. Oh, hey, there's downtown. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, okay. That was really dumb, by the way. Should have taken it to Vegas. All right, let's go ahead and try to land this little aircraft and see what that's all about. Why does my track IR keep getting all screwy? It's kind of getting annoying, isn't it? So, like I said, a little quirky, but I will say this. Like, I know I've already said a couple times, but I want to stress it. Definitely fantastic on clear skies. Clear skies, no wind, just a nice, clear, perfect day, and we're fine. Oh, you know what? I don't have any wind. I can actually land on whatever runway I want now. But definitely in the windy places, it got pretty quirky, so I don't know what's to be done there. And we're going to try out them speed brakes. There they are on the back, on the tail there. Very different. Ah, interesting. Neat concept. Get back in the seat here before we crash. This is not an aircraft you can walk away from for very long. Let's see what our airspeed's at. How much did that really dump everything? Pretty significantly, actually. Alright, and we can go stage 1 flaps here on the approach. Let's get that gear down. She's touchy, man. Touchy, touchy. What you could totally get used to, after some time flying it. Like, it's just a matter of getting used to it. It's actually kind of nice using it with the virpil stick that I have, or anything similar to that, where the movement is really precise, the resolution is really precise. Because, I mean, you can see, like, if I just barely move the stick, like, we're all over the place. So, definitely a matter of fine-tuning your experiences here. Let's go for landing flaps. Trimming nose down a bit. Really high on the approach. It also does have a bit stronger brakes in it. So you can land it on very short fields, even grass fields, because of the robust landing gear. Let's see if we can stick the 1-1. Oh no, what was that? Ooh, I opened the speed brakes at the last second. Clearly that was dumb. I'll sort of try to do like I do with the, what's the word I'm looking for? The Mooney. You know, on the Mooney, I always drop the speed brakes right before touchdown. It just helps nail that spot. And, man, that kicked it off hardcore to the left. Let's look at something again. What is that doing in front of my taxiway? That is not supposed to be there. Where's the guys? Oh, I wonder if I don't have my air. No, the airport's right there. What do they do to my scenery? My scenery's broken. This is not supposed to be grass. Come on, guys. Why you gotta be like that? Come on, that ain't right. Alright, let's bring this over here. And I want to check something. We're gonna go outside for a second. Yeah, I know, we're sitting in the middle of a taxiway. They don't mind. They let me do what I want. Okay. No, it opens from both left and right, but oh man, that kicked it over hard. Like, it was instantaneous, so don't do that. So all in all, guys, I do want to give this one still a really big thumbs up. It's a completely free aircraft. Again, without any wind, it flies perfectly fine. It's fast, it's fun, you can get down low. I think this would be a fun one to go tour the Grand Canyon, if you catch my drift. Definitely a very, very interesting aircraft and a lot of fun to have. I'm pretty impressed by this one, and I'm very glad that, that this was made available to all of us, and once again, completely free of charge. So be sure to check out the link in the description below, guys. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think of this particular aircraft and how you feel about its performances. Give the developer a cup of coffee if you catch my drift again, and hopefully this aircraft will continue to improve, because it's definitely well on its way to becoming a flight simulator great. I really enjoyed this little aircraft. I think, like I said, a little bit of ironing out, and especially in VR, this aircraft could be killer. So, as always, guys, stay safe and healthy. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend, and I will see you in the next one.